College Corner is locked into the Flagship. Stop by their new location in the Oxford Commons off Sisk Avenue. They'll have 4,000 square feet of Rebel gear ready for your trip to the Grove. On your next trip to Oxford, stop by the College Corner or our other great locations in Ridgeland and Flowood. Hats, shirts, polos, pullovers, sweats, t-shirts. College Corner has it all.
Welcome into this Tuesday edition of the Flagship. I'm your host, Zach Grayson Weir. Day later than usual, post SEC
Hi, this is Kevin
Media
Kessinger,
Days.
former Ole Miss baseball
I don't know, maybe
player,
call it a
son of
hangover.
Ole Miss Hall of Famer Don Kessinger, and dad to Ole Miss All-American shortstop Gray Kessinger, and your local community banker with B&A Bank.
We're going to cover a lot of
has
stuff.
invested 125 years in our communities, and we know
first
the
and
needs
foremost,
of
we're
North
going to get
Mississippi
into,
businesses better than anyone.
I don't know about you,
As a
Grayson,
commercial
we'll get
lender
into
with
it here.
B&A Bank, my
After
priority
we
is Oxford, and I'd love to
pay some
help you and
bills.
your business
I
with
refuse
any
to
lending
say
needs.
EA Sports College Football 25. I'm just saying NCAA 25.
to learn more. B&A Bank, local,
But before we get into the
modern
game,
banking, member FDIC,
brought to you each and
equal housing
every
lender.
day by our good friends at College Corner. You see the logo down there. You've probably seen them in Oxford. Maybe you've seen them in Ridgeland or Flowood. 3 locations. Go there, get suited up. Fall camp is around the corner. That means that the season will be here before you know it. Go get you some new polos, get you some Realtree, get you some tailgating supplies. They have that as well. They've got you covered 3 locations, Oxford, Ridgeland, Flowood. The one in Oxford, brand spanking new, off Sisk Avenue. It's spectacular. Scott and the folks take care of us, and they will take care of you. If you can't get to the 3 brick and mortars, check them out, collegecornerstore.com. Grayson, good morning. How much sleep have you lost since the game has come out?
Not as much as I thought, because by the end of the night, I get so frustrated with my inability to tackle that I log off before I'm up too late anyway. I can't do it. I can't tackle.
I'm going to go ahead and just some hand-up accountability here. The week that it came out, early access was media days. I was supposed to go to media days. Was not able to. Had to stay home with the kids. Wife had a work trip, and then childcare fell through, so I had to stay home. But, you know, silver lining, got early access to the game that Monday, fired it up. Hand-up accountability. Those 5 days that my wife was out of town, I probably got 25 hours of sleep, maybe. I stayed up late playing that game a lot. I'm a huge fan. There are some bugs, there are some issues. I got some gripes, but that's every game. There's never going to be a perfect game. But your first impressions with the game, 11 years after NCAA 14, or I guess, 11 years because it came out in 13.
Came out in 13, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think it's as perfect of a game as we're going to get. Like you said, there is no such thing as a perfect game. But, I mean, there was so much hype and fanfare and pomp and circumstance and all this stuff surrounding the game. And, we had our expectations. We've been waiting on this for more than a decade. It lived up to it and exceeded it in every way. I mean, other than those minor issues, which I'm sure we'll get into, it really is, just as perfect as it can get without being 100% perfect. I mean, the recruiting is awesome. The road to glory is fun. The dynasty is in depth as we want it to be. I'd love if we could start as like a linebackers coach instead of the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, but I get that's not possible. So it's pretty damn, expansive and awesome. And then even the online, I've been playing a lot of online because I've never played online before. I've never gamed online. I've never done any of that. It's really quick, easy, painless. The games move quickly. I can play a game against an opponent in 30, 40 minutes and call it a day.
Yeah.
It's awesome. This game is incredible.
That's what's great. You could always do a super sim. I don't remember, actually. It was 11 years ago. I don't think they had did they have offense, defense only in 14? I can't remember.
I think so.
I don't think they had. So I do key moments. So I can do both offense and defense because I got to get some work in on defense. Got to get better on defense. That's great because, like you said, you can finish a game in like 20 to 25 minutes. It's perfect.
It's awesome.
That's huge. I do like that a lot. I will say this: not a huge fan of the playbook that Ole Miss has.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
I tried the. Yesterday, I was playing it's the only dynasty I have, but I'm in like year 2028 now. I tried the veer and shoot, hated it, hated that playbook. The passing schemes and plays are not great. And we'll get into it. Passing on this game is incredibly hard.
So hard.
One of my main gripes is. And this is on All-American, so this isn't on like varsity. We're not playing easy mode here. Because look, I'm on All-American, and say what you will, Heisman is ridiculous.
It's impossible.
It's not even fun.
No, it's not. You just get beat up so bad that you quit at halftime.
But if you're playing someone that has anything remotely close to a good pass rush, you have maybe. If there's any kind of blitz, you have maybe 3 seconds to throw.
Yeah, maybe.
Even if your O-line's good, it doesn't matter. I hate this. Like it's happened to me several times. The first game I played online, shout out to our boy, Michael Serber, played him. We had a Clemson Ole Miss game. It was a slobber knocker. It was 6-0.
Oh, wow.
He beat me. I think we each threw. Klubnik had 2 picks. Dart had 2 picks. Really good defensive battle there. But both of us had different times late in the game. A perfect play call, guy wide open, going to make the pass, hit the guy, and the quarterbacks all do this where you can have plenty of time to get rid of it. And if anyone's remotely close, they either tuck it or wind up, and then it's the ball's like tipped or fluttered, and I hate that. And then the running backs. If you're playing anyone that has a good running back, good luck, because the computer's different. Because sometimes the computer doesn't really follow blocks and doesn't utilize which the jump cut is elite.
It's awesome.
The new jump cut move is fantastic. If you're playing somebody online that knows how to run the football, is patient, follows blocks, and knows it's over.
Yeah.
If you're playing anybody that, like, I played with Oklahoma State online once. I wanted to see how good Ollie Gordon was. Made a dude quit within the first quarter. 21 skunked him. Couldn't stop the run, and you pretty much break almost every tackle. And if you're doing it, it's fun. But when you can't stop it, it's not.
And I cannot stop it. I mean, I've tried everything. I've done all the practices, and I don't like to do the practices. The practices aren't fun. Nobody likes to practice, but I do it because I was putting in the work and I wanted to learn how to tackle. I cannot do it. I don't understand. I've tried holding A. I've tried hitting X, but then they dive all over the place. You hit the hit stick and you miss them. You're diving at the ankles and Ollie Gordon just jumps over your arms. Like, I don't understand how everybody is tackling. And a 6-0 for you to play a 6-0 game blows my mind. I have lost the majority of my games, like 57-49, because I figured out how to throw. It's really hard, but I figured it out. I figured out how to run the ball. I figured out how to use a playbook to get open and call a great offensive drive. Mm-hmm. And then I turn up and turn right around and give up a 70-yard deep ball and then the next play. I can't do it. And if anyone out there is listening right now and has like a secret on how to tackle, like, please tag me on whatever platform. Like, I don't know how to do it.
Here's the secret. You let the computer do it.
Yeah, but that's so
the only time I will use their tackle is behind the line of scrimmage. If I make a good move at the line with the defensive lineman and I got a clear shot, I will do it. In the open field, though, unless the computer is taking a terrible angle and I just try to cut them off and use the sideline as an extra defender, I'm letting a quick hitch route where it's just one-on-one corner versus receiver, I'm not touching it. I'm letting the computer do it.
It's probably a good idea.
Like, it's so difficult.
I can't do it.
The jukes are so good. Like I said, the jump cut is fantastic. I mean, between the tackles, open field, it's great because you can do it. You don't lose a ton of speed. I'll say the other, I'm trying to think of what else drives me nuts. The kicking is hard. The kicking is impossible.
But it should be. That I like that's as hard as it is. I want to be missing a 43-yard field goal.
Yeah, I don't hate it as much because I'm not kicking a lot.
Yeah, true.
Here's a little life hack for you on when you play online. And I don't remember the gamer tag, but man, I really hope that his Monday got better. Played a kid yesterday, and I had him in shambles. I just had him in a chokehold playing with Utah, and here's what I do. And look, you can say that this is bullshit or this is lame. I look at the first drive. If I'm moving the football with Micah Bernard and we're getting 4 or 5 chunks at a time, I put shoe clock on and I'm just running it down your throat until you stop it. and this kid could not stop inside zone, could not stop zone read. And he was, I don't have a mic. I wasn't talking to him, but I could hear him and he was so mad. And if I had a mic, I would have been like, dude, I'm running like 6 plays. Like, that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, also, there are 134 teams on the game. No one forced you to pick Virginia Tech. Which he was doing like, you're playing with a top 25 team. That's so lame. And I looked it up. Utah is 88 overall. Virginia Tech's 86.
Yeah, like not that big of a discrepancy. But
yeah, I think that's kind of the big thing here. If you can run the football, you can have a lot of fun. And I love all the blocking mechanics, like a pulling guard. Everything looks so good. The other thing, like I mentioned with the pass rush, you got to have a mobile quarterback, or you have to at least recognize I got to get out of the pocket and make sure you know which button is to throw it away.
Yep,
because it's pretty impossible to get out of a sack. Other than that, though, like, I don't want to sound too negative. I love it. I've had a blast.
It's amazing. It's such a fun game.
Dynasty mode is a ton of fun. Road to Glory, I've been playing it on Heisman, so maybe that's my problem. It's not as fun. You can only control your guy. You can't control anyone else. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been awesome. All of the miscellaneous stuff, the crowds, all the specific stuff for each team. For Ole Miss, they show them coming out of the tunnel with Chucky, which is cool. I've seen, Ralphie running on the field. I've seen, Chief Osceola coming out on Renegade for like Florida State, all that kind of stuff, the pageantry, the music. I mean, they got Mo Bamba in the game.
They got it right.
It's that's probably it. Like they did get it right. Like this is, and I'm really intrigued to see what kind of patches and stuff they do to improve it.
Yeah, they put a few in over the weekend where they like fixed a couple glitches and like minor stuff that I guess popped up. But I'm curious to see also too, like the dynamic rankings. I think that's a thing. I haven't seen it confirmed anywhere actually, but that'll be fun to like see how teams, like Colorado's, right now one of the better teams in the game. Is that going to be the case come week 6? Probably not. It's just it's an awesome game. I'm so excited about it. I just wish I knew how to tackle. And then my other gripe, we talked about this a little yesterday actually. 10 years of muscle memory on the read option. You hold A to give the ball. Now it's the opposite. I actually prefer that it's the opposite. I think it's a better way, a better system. It makes more sense of like, if you want to keep it, you have to hold it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But 11 years of muscle memory where I have been giving that ball by holding, the button for 11 years. And now it's like, I've got it mostly recalibrated, but 2 or 3 times a game I'll run an option and it's like, well, I meant to take that ball, or I meant to give that ball, and here I am, getting a loss of 5 because I did the opposite thing and accidentally ran backwards.
I think, now that I've gotten more comfortable with it, because there were times when I was playing either Dynasty or online and I would do it backwards, and I would just get so frustrated because
it's infuriating.
Tackle for a loss or something like that. I think now that I'm more comfortable with it, I might either do a Road to Glory or another Dynasty where I started Air Force.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
And do that. Now, I will say this: the other thing that's really detailed, and I think they nailed it, the RPO stuff. I've finally gotten to where I figured that out, how to run an actual RPO. Like that's really helpful. If you're going hurry up, you go turbo, and you've got that option. It's a great hurry up, no huddle play. I think it's tremendous. I'm a huge fan. It sounds cliche and everybody says it, but they really did get all of the passion and pageantry and the details right on this one.
Absolutely. They nailed it. And it's not a reskin of Madden, which they promised it wouldn't be, and it's not. I don't play Madden, but from what I understand, like it's a night and day difference between the two games, and that's great.
Yeah, I've never been a big Madden guy, so I don't know. I mean, I've seen videos, clips. I've played Madden before. I know what it looks like. But it's its own game. And look, if you're an Ole Miss fan, it's a ton of fun because Ole Miss is really good on the game.
Yes.
You might remember his name. I don't. There's a running back that's on Ole Miss's team that is just a random dude.
Oh yeah, what is that about?
I don't know. So if you play with Ole Miss, you got to put Bentley in as the starter. A couple edge guys that are just random names. So I'm sure once the rosters were updated, because I know there was a lot of upheaval with that. There were guys that were, hey, I opted in and I'm not in the game. What the hell? I know like Centurion Perkins wasn't in it.
Yeah,
I know that was a big one that was Ole Miss related, but I'm sure they're going to get things updated. And hell, I'm sure that there's still someone out there that's loading up their own rosters just because they're super OCD and want everybody in it. Huge fan. I do not regret it one bit getting early access and paying for that. It's been a ton of fun. I've dabbled with Ultimate Team. Have you done much of that?
I don't do Ultimate Team at all.
For me, I don't like it. It just takes too long.
Yeah, I don't even know enough to talk about it.
I just want to play. I don't want to I don't want to open a pack of cards and do like it's cool that they have the throwback dudes in the game. Like I like that. Like that's really fun. But I just don't have time for that. I'm too impatient. I just want to go. I just want to play.
And it costs a lot. Well, I did Ultimate Team for FIFA like 1 year. God, probably a decade ago now. And it just it costs money too. You got to buy, but that's where they get you to spend all the money is on the pack upgrades and all that stuff. I just want to play. Yeah,
I'm not doing that. Speaking of just wanting to play, if you want to get out, it's still hot, but we're almost to August. It'll be the fall before you know it. If you want to get out and play, you crave activity, then look no further than Rowback, sponsor of the Flagship. You can check them out, rowback.com. That's their mantra. They believe in activities they want you to crave it. It's an irreplaceable way of bringing people together, whether that's golf or cycling or just hanging out, grilling in the backyard, drinking on a front porch, whatever. Rowback has got the most comfortable polos in the game, in my opinion. The collars are fantastic. I'm a huge fan of the lightweight hoodies. That's going to be a staple come September, October. And huge fan of the shorts. I was not familiar with their game. with the shorts, and they sent me a pair. I'm a huge fan. Just like the everyday short, you can wear them. They look like khakis, but they fit like gym shorts. They're super light, breathable, but they got all the pockets that you need if you're, wanting to go to the office, wanting to go play golf, whatever. They got destination and state collections. So they've got some Mississippi polos on there. The game day collection hopefully will feature Ole Miss in the future. Roback is working with Ole Miss on that as we speak, but they got everything. They got joggers, they got hats, they've got kid polos, all of that and more at roback.com. Inspire and crave activity. When you're at roback.com, before you hit checkout, make sure you use promo code JUICE for 20% off your first purchase. All right, real quick. Baseball portal seems to be winding down, seems to be slowing down, at least for Ole Miss. I'm interested to hear what you think. I thought that Ole Miss did a pretty solid job via the portal. I think it's not nearly as big of a – I think it's more encouraging with not only the players that were picked up in the portal, but the draft didn't really slam Ole Miss like some predicted it would. You lose Slade Caldwell, but he went 29th overall to the Diamondbacks. Bye, dude. Go get paid.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Go get your $3 million and change and chill. But they get Will McCaughlin from St. Joseph's. They get Luke Ching from Illinois State. They got Colin Reuter from BYU, Mitchell Sanford from New Orleans, and Ryan Moorman from Illinois. They're slowly announcing those at the Ole Miss Baseball Twitter account. Portal additions, I thought, pretty solid. Got they got a catcher, which I think is huge because you still kind of don't really know what Campbell Smithwick is going to be. And you got a pitcher in McCausland, you got Big Bat in Moorman and Sanford, and then Luke Ching, a really solid, experienced infielder. I think that I'm not going to sit here and say that, they fixed everything. Next year is going to be great. Still a lot to wait and see with that, but I thought that some solid additions to go along with the signees. Owen Pano is going to make it to campus. That's huge. That's a big get. I know that he kind of slid down some boards a little bit, but back-to-back player of the year in New York. He's a big body. He can play short. He can play third. Some people think he could fit in the outfield because of the athleticism and the big frame. Also, it's not officially announced yet, but Ole Miss did also get Alex Caney from Tampa, a really talented arm out of the Division II ranks. So we'll see how he translates. But yeah, I think with Pano, with Cade Townsend, the big arm out of California. There were some that thought maybe a pro team would take a chance on him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. JP Robertson, another guy that chose Ole Miss, a talented JUCO arm. A lot of scouts like Austin Foley, the Kentucky catcher. So yeah, they got two catchers. So they're slowly announcing all of these at the Ole Miss baseball Twitter account. But Isaac Humphrey, another guy, Louisville outfielder, experienced dude. So yeah, again, cautiously optimistic, but I think that pretty solid portal run for Mike Bianco to try to rebound.
I think there's still a lot of questions with the pitching. I know Cade Townsend, you're in particular super high on him, and I think with every reason to be, he could slate right into the weekend. But I don't know if the team and Bianco did enough to replace the arms. I think is kind of the big thing here. One name that you didn't mention that I think is actually going to have a bigger impact than maybe people could expect is Alex Caney. I believe that's how you say his last name, out of University of Tampa. He's one of the better pitchers on the is Tampa probably D2? He's one of the better pitchers on the yeah, I think the D2 level. Really good, solid guy, hits 94, has a good feel for 4 pitches. And I think he threw something like 100 innings last year or something like that and only had 20 walks. Pretty good. So I think he's someone that you could watch maybe to slate in as like a Sunday guy. I think he'll come in there and do a pretty good job. Yeah. So here we go. 106 innings, 21 walks, 3.2 ERA, 14 wins, 3 losses on the D2 CCA level. So I think maybe you got enough between him, Townsend, some of the other guys who didn't get an opportunity to compete for a weekend rotation spot last year will be back now and have a chance to be in that conversation. That's just my biggest question. Like the bats, fine, whatever. Like this team always seems to find a way to hit. Sure, they're inconsistent at times. Yeah, there are often question marks, in the early season of like, why isn't this guy performing? Whatever. I think the lineup will figure itself out. You bring in a few good bats. What does the pitching look like? I think that's the big question. How does the starting rotation look? Is Townsend able to be that first year starter that you want him to be? I think so. You don't know until he gets in there and faces live batters in the fall. We'll see. I think there's a lot of question marks with the pitching. I think that's a big concern, and I think we saw it last year. So hopefully it doesn't rear its ugly head again.
The College Corner is headed to Oxford. Stop by their new location in the Oxford Commons off Sisk Avenue. They'll have 4,000 square feet of Rebel gear ready for your trip to the Grove. On your next trip to Oxford, stop by the College Corner or our other great locations in Ridgeland and Flowood. Hats, shirts, polos, pullovers, sweats, t-shirts. College Corner has it all. And as always, you can visit us online at collegecornerstore.com. That's collegecornerstore.com. The College Corner, where your game day apparel meets.
Call Drew Moak of USA Benefits Group. He can help you with any of your health insurance needs. Drew is an Ole Miss grad located in Mississippi and licensed in 7 states. He works with the nation's second largest health insurance brokerage with access to 35 different carriers, regular health plans, to life insurance, to dental and vision, and even Medicare. He has it all covered. Now more than ever, it is critical to have a health insurance agent who is local and accessible. So call Drew Moak at 601-953-8449. 601-953-8449 and get your free quote today. Yeah, Caney, again, comes from Tampa University, one of the better D2 baseball programs in the country. Helped them win a national championship this year. 9th national championship. Pretty good. They went 52-8 this year. Yeah. So,
and he's really
pretty damn good. Yeah, threw a lot of innings. I'm not a pitching scout, but he kind of looks to have, like you said, throws 94, but almost kind of looks like he's got that heavy fastball. That's just kind of tough to hit, kind of gets on you real quick, kind of like Brady Bramlett back in the day had for Ole Miss. It was really effective. The pitching's always going to be the concern. That's kind of the thing that you need down the stretch, right? You got to have arms, especially in Omaha. Like you got to be able to pitch. You got to be able to pitch well. Offense can always play, but we've seen teams over the years that were fantastic offensive programs, but couldn't get it done. Tennessee a couple years ago was the best team in the country, couldn't get out of their own super regional despite having one of the better offenses. So, we'll see. I'm, again, cautiously optimistic. I think they did a solid job. I think they added some good pieces, but it's the SEC. It's going to be cutthroat. It's going to be tough. You add Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma was, the team Ole Miss played for the national championship a couple years ago. And then Texas gets sloshed all over there. So the Longhorns are going to be more than competitive and are going to be tough. But I think after losing Liam Doyle, Andrew Fisher, it appears that Hunter Elliott is probably gone. We'll see. Most people expect him to move on, but yeah, I think for all intents and purposes, I think Bianco and Ole Miss did a nice job. Where I think I think as a staff struggled a little bit in the portal last year. But you get Andrew Fisher, but there were some evals that didn't really pan out and lost on some big time targets and all of that. But yeah, if I'm an Ole Miss fan, I think you should be cautiously optimistic right now.
Yeah, better. Your hopes are to certainly to perform better than last year, and I think that's a great step in the right direction. Is it enough? I don't know. That's the question we're going to have to wait and see. Should they be better than last year? Yes. Is better than last year good enough? I don't think so. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's a big discrepancy between the two.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, it's the SEC, so you could have done great in the portal, but it's still going to be tough because it's just tough. It's the best league in the country for a reason, and that's unfortunate. That's just kind of the truth right now. Is Ole Miss could have just crushed it in the portal, and it may not even matter because everybody else is doing so well, whether the portal or just in general. I mean, the portal is a factor now, and everybody's utilizing it. But I mean, top to bottom, the league is tough. So. One thing that is not tough, that is not difficult, is saving money on those health insurance premiums. If you give Drew Moak of USA Benefits a call today, 601-953-8449. He's an Ole Miss grad. He's located in Mississippi, also licensed in 7 states, though. So he's local, accessible, but he can also help you out. If you're not in Mississippi, he works with the nation's second largest health insurance brokerage. Got access to 35 carriers, and he can help you with regular health plans, life insurance, dental, vision, Medicare, all of that and more. Give him a call, like I said, 601-953-8449, or check him out, usabg.com/DMOAK, and get your free quote today. All right, last couple things here, Grayson. This morning before we hit record, Ole Miss Women's Hoops announced they will be opening the season in Paris, taking on the Southern California Trojans November 4th. Pretty huge, pretty big deal. Pretty awesome. The opening season tournaments, games, whatever, are always a ton of fun. It seems like Ole Miss is not typically involved in a lot of them. You know, the Maui Invitational is the big one for the men, and Ole Miss is yet to get an invite. But, yeah, pretty cool. Coach Yo and the Rebs will be in Paris playing SC. Pretty cool. Yeah,
the Trojans should be a Final Four team this year. I mean, obviously, they were a 1 seed last year and lost to UConn. You'd imagine that UConn's probably a 1 seed this year with Paige back in the mix. USC is a Final Four team. Juju Watkins is arguably the best player in the country next year. Her and Paige are probably 1 and 2, if not 1A, 1B. So it's a really great, wake-up call for the team to see where they stand against the elite opponent, in a really cool, playing in Paris like that is pretty neat. I think they're something like, I lost the stat in my head. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Expectations for this game should be low because USC is very good. But it's a great test for Ole Miss right out the gate to just see, okay, we're playing arguably the best team in the country, one of the 4 best teams in the country last year. How can we stop them? Because Ole Miss, obviously, and Coach Yo have put such a significant emphasis on defense. How can you guard a player scoring 27 points per game last year? And then Ole Miss should be pretty good. You're getting, Madison Scott's returning and KK Deans is back from injury. So this team should be back in that Sweet 16, Elite 8 competitive range. Getting USC right out the gate gives you a chance to see, okay, are we on that level? A close loss to USC is a good thing. A close loss to USC is a great sign. Going in there and beating USC, obviously first game of the season doesn't always mean anything. But if you can go into Paris and beat USC, you're looking at a chance to be in that conversation for the Final Four. So it's a really great judge of where you are and how team ready you are before then you come back and get some of those easier opponents, North Alabama type, non-conference schedule. So it's a cool kind of like punch in the mouth, and then you can either get up off the mat or, you're the one still standing looking down on the Trojans. So it's really cool. And to play it in Paris is neat too. I just hope it's on TV.
Yeah, like you said, projected preseason top 10 SC. Juju Watkins is probably going to be preseason player of the year. 2024 Aflac We Play, and it's spelled OUI, which is nice. It's at Adidas Arena November 4th. If you go to OleMissSports.com, you can check out a VIP fan experience. So if you want to get some details on that, go check out the Ole Miss Women's Hoops page at OleMissSports.com. Pretty awesome. Just going over there to play. I'm sure they'll be there for a week and a half to, do some sightseeing, take in the cuisine, all of that good stuff. But really cool opportunity to play against, probably the player of the year, probably a Final Four team. It'll be a good measuring stick. Again, first game of the year, so it's not a huge ordeal. It's not going to be like a huge red flag if Ole Miss loses or, maybe doesn't look great because it's the first game of the year. But huge opportunity, nothing to lose. Just go out there and have some fun. Very cool for Coach Yo and Ole Miss. That'll be very cool. I'm not sure if it'll be in the budget for us to go over there and cover it, but I will. Very, very cool for Coach Yo and them. Huge opportunity, not only for basketball, but just a life experience. Pretty awesome. Really speaking of Paris, the Olympics get fired up this weekend, run through August in Paris, and there's some Ole Miss folks that will be there ahead of the Ole Miss women's hoops team.
Yeah, actually like a pretty loaded group here, mostly in track and field. There's a lot of Mississippi ties this year. I mean, Devin Booker obviously is kind of the big one, being a Moss Point guy. But he's obviously not, Ole Miss related, played at Kentucky. But there's a few Mississippi State people in the mix. But then for Ole Miss, you're looking at two in soccer. You're looking at Shu Abba, the goalkeeper. Started 14 games for Ole Miss last year, ended up being an all SEC second team player. She will be an alternate for the Japanese soccer team. So I believe she gets to travel with them in case of injury. Don't quote me on that. But what I do know is that Rafaela Souza, who used to play for Ole Miss and scored like 44 goals during her career, she is going to be confirmed playing in the games this summer with Brazil. She's been playing pro since 2014, which, not to date myself, but the year I got into school there, and is currently playing for the Orlando Pride of the NWSL. She'll be on team Brazil in soccer, so there'll be an alternate for Japan, probably a starter for Brazil. I don't know anything about the Brazilian women's team, but she is at the very least, on the roster. And then there's a ton of track and field. So this is where Ole Miss has really kind of made its mark over the last few years in the Olympics. You're looking at 16 athletes who will compete in 18 events. You're looking at Janya Bowers in the 100. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, you got Mackenzie Long in the 100 and 200. Shannon Ray in the 100. You got Anthony Camarero.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys were just Olympic trials. So the ones who are actually in the Olympics, I had the wrong list up too. That's where I got flip-flopped. You're looking only at a lesser field for track and field than I had previously teased. But you're looking at Mario Garcia Romo. She competes for Spain. Sam Kendricks obviously is the big name in the pole vault, like you said. Although he got a little sassy with the Olympic Committee this year because he wasn't allowed to go 4 years ago to Tokyo due to some COVID and stuff. He wasn't sure if he was going to go. He ended up going. Mackenzie Long, like you said, is kind of the big name here, 100 and 200. And then Raven Saunders is just an absolute monster shot putter.
Legit shot to win gold.
Yeah, legitimate chance for them to win gold. And then there's oh man, I've been looking at this name for a week now. Santiago Visa, I believe is his name. He runs for Italy.
I was going to say Santiago.
Yeah, Santiago. That's better.
Visa. Just go Visa.
He runs for Italy, but obviously the big names are Sam Kendrick, Mackenzie Long, and Raven Saunders. Mackenzie is probably a medal favorite in the 200. The 100, she's in the mix. We'll see. Sam Kendrick's definitely a medal contender in the pole vault, though Antoine Duplantis, whose brother was a left fielder for LSU baseball.
What's Mondo? Mondo's the pole vault.
You're right. Antoine is. Yeah. Mondo's the pole vaulter. He's the world record holder. Continues to shatter his world record every meet. So he's the gold medal favorite, but then Sam Kendrick should be in the mix for the podium. Mackenzie Long, like we said, 100 and 200, definitely in contention for a medal in both, probably a favorite for a medal in the 200. And then Raven Saunders, like you said, gold medal contender, and then the two soccer players.
Yeah, I mean, three right off the bat, medal contention.
In 4 events.
Yeah, Souza has a shot with Brazil. We'll see. USA typically women's soccer dominates, but as of late, not as much. Japan's always really good in women's soccer too. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for some Ole Miss folk to get a medal. Yeah, very cool. It's pretty awesome. I mean, the Olympics, as everybody knows, I don't have to say it, it's a humongous deal, especially these Olympic sports. It's kind of, that is the mountaintop. You want to get to an Olympic Games and compete. So very awesome. So yeah, keep track of those Rebels that will be over there in Paris, starting this weekend and running through, I believe, August 11th is how far the Olympics goes. But yeah, very cool.
Very much so. It should be a good next couple of weeks, and it gets us right into football season, which God bless the Olympics for that.
Real quick, I know everybody will love this and agree with me 100%. Quick trivia. Did Michael Jordan ever carry the flag for the United States of America at an Olympic Games?
I don't believe so.
He did not. You know who is going to carry an American flag? That is LeBron James.
LeBron is.
Suck it, Jordan. Yeah, so kind of wild that an NBA player has never held the flag.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And then
as dominant as USA has been in basketball. I thought, I saw that stat and I was kind of floored. I thought for sure Michael Jordan or somebody on that dream team maybe somebody on the Redeem team. I thought somebody would have done it by now. Pretty cool. I mean, kind of a testament to just how loaded the United States of America is in other sports for the Olympics. I'm trying to remember. See if I can find out. Let's see if I can effort real quick and find a list of who has held the flag. Okay, boom, Wikipedia. Let's see, LeBron this year. I'm not going to say all the names. I'm just going to throw out the ones that I see that I recognize. Sue Bird did it in 2020. Simone Biles in 2016. Michael Phelps in 2016. Mia Hamm in 2004. Don Staley in 2004. Not as many people as I thought I'd recognize, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all the they kind of usually give it to the niche sports. I think part of it too, part of the selection has to do with who's competing when. And these athletes are on their feet for so long during the ceremonies that I think this year they've asked the athletes, some of them, to be on their feet for like 8 hours, and you just can't have that. So
yeah, it's a lot of standing around and doing nothing. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm gonna try to get into it more. The last couple Olympics, I haven't really grabbed me for whatever reason.
Yeah, I love it.
It was always appointment television, always dialed in, especially with like soccer, basketball, track and field's always fun as hell. Swimming is cool. Yeah, for whatever reason, 2020, I guess, was just weird with COVID, but I don't know. I remember 2016, I wasn't super into it. So hopefully this will be different. The Summer Olympics, I don't want to throw too much shade at the Winter Olympics, but summer is the blockbuster event.
Yeah, without a doubt, track and field and swimming.
So, all right. Well, speaking of blockbuster events, Ole Miss will be hosting a ton of prospects this weekend for Juice Fest 24. Waiting on the full list of expected visitors. Should get that at some point today. When we do get it, you will get it at omspirit.com. List will be on the message board in the recruiting tidbits thread, and then I will do a piece on who is coming, the notable names, latest of their recruitment, all that intel. I'll talk to the folks like Chad Simmons, Steve Wiltfong. I'll talk to folks to see what's what with some of these big time prospects that will be in town. I'm sure there will be some notable ones. There'll always be some surprises, and there will absolutely be someone that shows up that is not on the list that will turn some heads. So we will have full coverage of that this weekend. Myself and Ben Garrett. But hey, Jake and Chuck will probably be there too. We'll all be, the gang will all be there. We'll have full coverage of the Juice Fest event this weekend as the Olympics get started. Appreciate Grayson, as I'm trying to hold in a burp. Appreciate Grayson joining us, and appreciate you, the listener, the watcher on YouTube. We appreciate all the love on YouTube. Views are way up. We're almost to 2K subscribers on YouTube, so that's very cool. Appreciate College Corner, USA Benefits Group, and Roback, and the rest of our sponsors for making it possible. Be back later this week with a primer for this big recruiting event this weekend. Until next time, for Grayson, I'm Zach. This has been the Flagship. Y'all be good. We out.